So the presence of an invisible entity is inferred from its visible effects. And so spirituality involves the inference of an invisible dimension that is working in the visible world, whose effects are inferred, but whose causes are not clearly understood, but whose presence is intuitive. And it doesn't make any difference whether you're part of a religious tradition, whether you're a scientist, or what have you. You can be spiritual. As long as this recognition is there, that there are these mysterious forces at work in the world moving through each of us, trying to communicate with us. And also essential to a true spiritual attitude, I think, is compassion. There must be an awakening to the compassion of the suffering of life. That is generally regarded as the birth of a true beginning of a religious attitude, a sense of compassion for the suffering of others. That's what Buddhism is all about, and really what Christianity is all about. So then we come to science itself, and here I just want to conclude the first half of my talk. What then is science, and how does it differ from mythology, which is the telling of stories, and religion, which is their freezing in time by a priesthood, and spirituality, which is really an individualistic thing because it doesn't make any difference who you are or where you're at as long as there's this recognition of these invisible powers. Science itself has to do with two components, and it is the creation of a cosmology, and science handles for us the cosmological function of myth. Myth handles all these other areas, but science focuses exclusively on the creation of cosmologies. We would not expect our scientists to tell us how to be good people. We would not go to them for advice on ethics and solving personal problems. We would go to them to ask them, what does the universe look like? Where did it come from? And so science involves the creation of these cosmologies. The other side of science is the technological side. Science as the creation of machines, which will help us to perform functions more efficiently. A lot of times, Francis Bacon had this idea that science was technology. He didn't care about the cosmology. As far as he was concerned, science is about bringing the New Jerusalem onto the earth through the betterment of human society, using all of these machines that were coming along in the 17th century. So very often we tend to get, when we look back through the history of science, these two different scientific temperaments. One that inclines toward wondering about just what the hell, where did all this come from, cosmological, and the other that is concerned with making neat little machines and problem solving. You might term the first the Pythagorean temperament, which is concerned with the nature and purpose of the cosmos, the nature of things, the ultimate substance, whether there is a substance or is not, whether the universe is finite or infinite, whether it had a beginning in time or is eternal. Or the Archimedean temperament. The Archimedean type doesn't care about these things. These are the engineer types who are only interested in building machines. They're problem solvers, and they tend not to be concerned with these cosmological ideas. Archimedes was an inventor, a Greek inventor, one of the last of the great Greek minds, who built machines for the Greeks to defend them against the Romans during the Carthaginian Wars. He made these huge catapults and used Greek fire on the Romans, and it took the Romans forever to batter this fortress in Syracuse to get to him. But so those are the two temperaments in science, the Pythagorean and the technological Archimedean. And my book is more interested in the cosmological, but also interfaces with the technological insofar as it has cosmological implications, such as the idea that the universe might be like a machine. There's a kind of interface there, and a feedback loop that connects these two. So with that, I just want to give everybody a break here for 10 minutes before moving on to a discussion of creation myths. And when I do that, I want to start with some Eastern creation myths, contrast them with some Western creation myths, and end up with the Big Bang, and see what the Big Bang looks like in the light of some of these other stories. So why don't we take a 10-minute break then?
All right, thank you, Dave.